It all comes down to Sunday at Zolder. One championship has already been decided. Thomas Chrysonis has the Open Championship, but the Pro Division still on the line with Vittorio Garelli as the points leader. The fans are excited to see what goes down on the last day of the year. It's the end of term in the NASCAR Euro Series 2025. And what better place to do it than Zolder?
The NASCAR Euro Series Open Championship may be decided, but there's a trophy up for grabs, and Bruno Mulders is leading the Master Trophy for emerging drivers in this championship. You're battling with Toma Dombrowski and also with Sandro Tavatkiladze. How do you want to get this title?
Well, I have just a tiny margin to Thomas, so it's going to be very close again in this race, also because we have double points, so the margins are going to be small, but I think being consistent, trying my best in the race today is going to make the difference.
All right, then good luck and have fun.
Perfect, thank you.
Thomas Chrysonis on a Saturday, taking the race win, putting himself out of reach of anyone else in the championship, just so long as he takes the start today, which he is due to do. Everyone getting the opportunity to walk among the stars and the cars, as always here in the Euro NASCAR paddock. But the serious business of racing awaits, and Martin Dubek, the outgoing champion in the Open Division, starting alongside Thomas Chrysonis, then Mulders and Teufel, who had contact yesterday in the Pro Division. They line up on row number 2, a really compelling first couple of rows of the grid as we go racing, and it's a great start from Chrysonis. He leads comfortably into turn 1, but Thomas Dombrowski's been tagged into a spin by Jill Linster. Bruno Mulders was talking about it with Andre down in the pits before the race. It's between Dombrowski and Mulders in the Master Trophy classification, and Dombrowski in strife puts things firmly in favour of the number 72 car. This is great news for Mulders, as long as he can keep his race together. Look at Thomas Teufel in third place, Chrysonis in second, and Martin Dubek as the race leader. Oh, and Bonnet up on the number 21 car. Nick Strickler is now driving blind. One of the bonnet pins must have been damaged through the first few corners. Someone else going off at the back of shot there as well. All sorts going on the first lap, and lost in amongst all of it to an extent was the fact that Martin Dubek swept around the outside to an early lead. It is Dubek looking to try and win his last race of the season. Chrysonis has already sewn up the championship by virtue of taking the start in this race. So Dubek knows he can't become a 3-time Open champion. What he can do, though, is claim another win in what has been a strong season. Didn't always have the best luck at the start of the year. It was very much finish well or not finish at all for Martin Dubek at the start of the season. That's still a good year for him. Thomas Teufel looking for the inside here on Chrysonis, who I think is very mindful of the fact that he's done all he needs to do. There's no point tearing the car up ahead of the last race of the season in Pro, which of course he also drives the number 13 car in that Pro division. He's down to third place then. Teufel is up to second. You see Bruno Mulders now on the back of Chrysonis as well. Oh, and Happy Nessa's car is stranded and looks like it has quite significant damage. Oh, and that's going to be a big impact. Does she find the tyre wall? Or the tyre stack she finds. And that is a horrible, horrible hit for Happy Nessa. Would have been a lot of force through the car. Let's ride on board. Been bracing in the cockpit. That is never a nice feeling. Not the season end that Happy Nessa wanted, but she's out of the car and she seems to be okay. She will still win the Lady Trophy as well, becoming the first German woman to win a title trophy in the NASCAR Euro Series. Side by side between Gambarotto and Melvin de Groot there for 8th position. Melvin, who's looking to wrap up the Legend Trophy title here, but having to fight it out at the moment with Gambarotto. Just ahead of him is Claudio Remeggio Capelli, who leads for now in the Legend Trophy classification in this race. Gambarotto, of course, driving that 11 car that Gianmarco Ercoli will be in the Pro Division race. Gambarotto's had a really solid season here in the NASCAR Euro Series Open Division. Came in with the new Illumatech Racing team in partnership with the Italians at Cal Racing, and he has done a great job along with Gianmarco to hold that Illumatech flag high, the Canadian team. Patrick Schauber is trying to move into the top 5 here. He's got Sandro Tabat-Galazza just ahead of him. Marco Stipp Motorsport prepared number 9 car. Great to have Marco Stipp back for the last couple of events of the season. Let's hope that their full armada of cars is back in 2026. Patrick Schauber, of course, driving that number 3 car that Paul Giffreau was in yesterday. Obviously is always in the Pro Division, and Giffreau's title hopes ending with a literal bang in the Pro Division yesterday. For Patrick Schauber, he's had his fair share of knocks and bumps and scrapes in the Open Division as well, and that has ultimately squandered a year where it sometimes felt like he had the pace, but he just never had the luck. I think sometimes qualifying just not quite working out for the Austrian as well, but I'm sure he'll be back better and stronger in 2026. We know he has the talent, we know he has the potential. 2026 be his year. I think it will be something of a new front-running class in the Open Division in 2026. It happens every few years, a kind of new wave of talents coming in. The likes of Chrysonis and Mulders, I doubt they'll be back on the Open grid next year. They'll be focusing on Pro. And even Martin Dubeck has been kind of speculating whether he's back in the Open Division next year. I think the door is open for new front-runners in next year's Open Division. You see Thomas Teufel hasn't really managed to drop Thomas Chrysonis too much. Looks like Chrysonis has had something of a pace resurgence in the last few laps, and now he wants his second position back. Teufel wanting to end the year on a high, of course. After disappointment yesterday, spinning from pole yesterday was a huge disappointment for Thomas Teufel. Of course, got to start in a decent position for this race since the grids are formed by the fastest lap from Saturday's races, so managed to salvage himself a decent grid slot. But no one has done better in today's race than Martin Dubeck. He has commandingly led from turn 1 to the checkered flag, and he wins the final race of the season. But Thomas Chrysonis is champion, and it's all hitting him now. He had to start the race today to secure it, and he knows now that he's done enough. But for Martin Dubeck, another visit to victory lane, a great way to conclude his 2025.
Martin Dubeck, you said to me when you stopped it was a boring race for you. Explain me why.
Yesterday was more fun, so I didn't know what to take. So, after the start in turn 1 it was good. Nobody touched me, was clear. Then I overtook Thomas in turn 2, and then spotter told me it's clear, so I went, and I wanted to enjoy the race, so I enjoyed it, but yesterday it was more fun. So, but yeah, we are back on the victory lane. Totally, I think it's second in the championship, so that's also good. I'm happy for the Thomas. I hope he will invite me for the party. Now I will need it, and now I'm thinking if I will start in Pro. I think that not, because I want to see the race, because as me it will be really interesting, the race Ercoli with Girelli, so I want to see that.
Chrysonis, the champion, he's so happy. It means so much to him and PK Car Sport and all the Greek fans.
A lot of emotions right here. You did it. You are the 2025 NASCAR Euro Series Open champion.
Yeah, now we're saying it, you know, now that it's true, it's a very weird feeling, you know. We tried a lot, many years in this championship, you know. You were here since the day that we started. It took a lot of effort to keep improving. It's extra emotional for me because it's the biggest success my country has ever seen in motorsport. I'm the first European, the first Greek guy to win a European title. So yeah, I want to thank my sponsors, obviously, because without the help of Costa Mara and Dodoni, this great achievement wouldn't be possible. I want to thank my personal trainer, Paul Tibas, and my driving coach, Alon Day, for putting me to this level and forcing me to be better every day. My friends, family, and obviously my amazing team, PK Carsport, and especially my crew on the car, Gunther, Bavo, Jarne, Ralph, and which are the people basically that made my machine so fast. So, yeah, I have no words. You know, it's I don't know what to say. You know, it's incredible, just incredible.
What a moment for Chris Sonis. A great way to wrap up the season for the race winner, Martin Dubek, receiving hearty applause from the fans and indeed his fellow competitors. But the big trophy, the championship trophy, you heard how much it means to Thomas Chrysonis and his team. Both those who support him personally and those in the PK Carsport garage. This is for all of them, and this is for Greece. He loves his country, and he's now the most successful driver in European motorsport to hail from Greece. Master Trophy Championship going to Bruno Mulders after Thomas Dombrovski's difficult weekend, and Melvin de Groot, the Legend Trophy champion for 2025. Happinessa wins in Lady Trophy for the season. Now on to Pro. Vittorio Garelli has a strong lead, while Jufro has to work his way through the order in Junior Trophy.
Hello race fans, it's the last day of the 2025 NASCAR Euro Series season here at Circuit Zolder, and we want to talk about the Junior Trophy, the special classification in the Pro division for drivers aged up to 25 years of age. Paul Jufro, you're leading the Junior Trophy at the moment. Krasson is behind you, Liam Hazeman's behind you, and also Garrett Lowe. How do you want to get this title?
We calculated, so I start last for the race. There is a lot of chance that I've got the best overtake points, so with the most position gain. So I have to be 12 places behind Krasonis. So I think there is a lot of chance that I win this trophy. This will be the little consolation about yesterday. I will do everything to even maybe try to get this P2 on the Overworld Championship. It's possible with a racing incident. So yeah, 100. I will give 110% of what I can give, and yeah, you can be sure I will make some show.
All right, then good luck, have fun.
Vittorio Garelli, with yesterday's win and fastest lap of the race, puts himself in prime position at the very front of the grid to seal up this championship. The fans getting one last opportunity for the weekend and for the season to get hands-on with the Euro NASCAR machines and indeed their heroes in the racing suits. It's Garelli and Torfel, a very interesting front row. Hazeman's and the new Open champion Chrysonis on row 2. Then Mark Goossens all the way up in 5th place for club competition. Great to have the Goose back on his home turf. We go racing then in the Pro division, and it's a great start for Vittorio Garelli. Torfel, I think, will have to follow through in 2nd place. He will, because Garelli did a good job there of blocking his run out of the first corner. 2-3 wide further back in the pack, and always difficult to negotiate your way into clean space in the early stages. Oh, Jack Davidson shedding bodywork as they go through turn 2, and at turn 3 he collides with Giorgio Maggi in an absolutely huge barrel roll. Oh, I dread to think how many rolls that was. But that was a huge incident. Red flag scrambled almost immediately. Understandably, we're going to get another look at this. I understand it's 9 rolls for Giorgio Maggi. And that's a huge series of impacts. It was a big speed at which he started rotating as well. He would have had to have been doing 80, 90 mile an hour as the car started to tip and lift on the front of Jack Davidson's car. But what a scene this is. Giorgio Maggi out of the car, walking under his own steam, albeit, of course, very gingerly. Jack Davidson and Claudio Meggio Capelli, who are also involved in that one, immediately there to check on him. We ride on board with Ryan Vargas. Davidson colliding there with Maggi. And Davidson, I think, had a front tyre going down, and goodness me, that's a terrifying view as you see the underside of the 33 car pitched up. And then the rolls just kept going. Giorgio Maggi taken to hospital for precautionary checks, but we understand he's okay. We're back to racing conditions then after the red flag, and it is Garelli that leads the field. Behind him is Toffel, then it's Grassonis, Hazemans in fourth position. You see some other cars that are beaten up further back in the field. Chase Fernandez had some contact after the big crash, and there are a couple of other tangles further back in the field as well to consider. You see there Paul Giffreau working his way up from the very rear of the field. He's got the junior trophy on his mind. He needs to work his way up through the order to try and secure that for himself. Everyone will be driving with the thought of the incident they just saw in their minds, but they'll know, they'll have all been told that Giorgio is awake, moving around, okay, walking on his own 2 feet. And for the drivers, it's an immense mental challenge to get back into that zone, but they've all done so. They've all gotten back behind the wheel and are focused forward on the task at hand. Back of the field there, Federico Monti, the team boss of Alex Cathy Academy Motorsport in that #1 car. We've had quite a few driver owners over the years. Monti just one of them. Of course, Luca Lasserre for Speedhouse, Anthony Kumpen at PK Car Sport. Indeed, in this field today, Sebastian Blekemolen, as you saw there, Julian Reberg diving up the inside for a position. He's got some work to do. He's well down the field. Ryan Vargas going rally crossing. He's on the dirt next week in the Monster Jam Monster Truck Series, but a little bit early to be on the dirt just yet. Look at Giuffreau's car, also a bit worse for wear. Quite a few impacts and collisions on that first lap. You see Liam Hazemans' car looking a bit worse for wear as well. We've had an off in the back of shot. It's Thomas Grassonis into the wall. He gives the thumbs up. That's the best news, that he's okay, but another high-speed incident there. And do we get to the bottom of it with this onboard? He turns in. I think that was Liam Hazemans diving to his inside to try and move up. And the net result of that is Grassonis into the wall hard, into the tyre barriers hard. That's not the way the Open champion would have wanted to end his pro season. Garelli continues to lead. He's got the pressure from behind from Thomas Toffel, Hazemans and Erkeli side by side. Mulders and Kajaya side by side as well. The 5th and 6th position, they're still running quarter to quarter. Mark Goossens and Fabrizio Armetta trying to get involved in that as well. Armetta, another team boss, at the wheel of his own car for club competition. He's to the inside of Goossens there, 3 wide as they go through the corner. In fact, he backed out of it. Oh, Kajaya gets rudely run out of road there. Oh, and Chase Fernandez run out of road as well. And he's almost out of bodywork too at the front of the car. I think that's fairly comprehensive damage to Chase Fernandez's number 76 machine. We've got another car off the circuit there as well. Your top 3, though, are Garelli, Toffel and Hazemans. I think it was Fabrizio Armetta that went off the circuit because he's gone missing. He was in that collision with Chase Fernandez as well, so I think both parties in that incident no longer circulating. Meanwhile, Sebastian Blekemolen just ahead of Reberg and Paul Giffreau, who's doing a great job of working his way from outside the top 20. Started this race from, I think, 24th position. And here he is back into the top 10, trying to get as many points as possible to maximise his chances in the junior trophy classification. The 77 car of Ribberg looked very strong yesterday, looking strong again today. But Dufresne means business, moves up into 9th position with that move. Meanwhile, Gorelli just slightly ahead of Toffel now. Toffel, I think, is having to focus on what's going on behind him. Hazemans and Mulders, two very motivated young drivers, wanting to maximise his point score in junior trophy. Certainly is Liam Hazemans. Mulders not a factor in that consideration since he only did a part season. Came into Euro NASCAR, of course, initially in the open division, and I think Sebastian and Mikael Blekemolen both realising that they had quite a prodigy on their hands, and now he runs in both divisions. The 72 car gets a very good run out of the first chicane. Used not much curb, got a great run. And he's going to move forward into 3rd place. Great driving from Mulders. Gianmarco Erkli now wanted to take advantage of that as well on the back of Hazemans. Gorelli doing everything right, of course, at the front of the field, well on his way to the overall championship. He isn't quite unassailable coming into this race, but very close to it. Kajaya and Dufresne running for 7th position now. Dufresne past Sebastian Blekemolen. Julian Ribberg looks like he's going to go past Blekemolen in the back of shot as well. In fact, I think they ran out of room for each other going through the chicane there. Meanwhile, Kajaya is having to get the elbows out and make sure Dufresne stays behind. It's going to be difficult to keep the Frenchman back. Kajaya has good racecraft from many years of high-level competition. Dufresne, one of the best iRacers there is, as well as a leading force here in Euro NASCAR, and gets it done around the outside. Does he? Yes. Just about avoids that tyre stack on the inside of the final corner to make the move. Nice driving from the number 3. French team, RDV, the French driver who, of course, has family ties in Valencia, considers that a second home. Started his season out well back in Spain. He's had another great year, certainly. We suspect one day he'll be a pro champion. This weekend it wasn't to be with that collision, turn 1, lap 1. But for Vittorio Gorelli, it is a 2nd consecutive NASCAR Euro Series Pro title. And with it comes the race victory. Gorelli celebrates in style for PK Carsport, who have sewn up both championships on home turf in Zolder. One of the biggest days for that team in their NASCAR Euro Series tenure. Gorelli with a huge points lead at the end of it all. Celebrations for him, his friends and his family.
A dramatic last race of the season, but you made it. You are the 2025 NASCAR Euro Series champion, back-to-back champion. Vittorio, how are you feeling?
Yeah, this is amazing performance. I can't thank enough, my team. They're really unbelievable. I'm so happy. It was hard in the beginning, but we made it. Nice, thank you guys. Let me celebrate with my guys.
You could see how much it meant to him. Gorelli lifting the trophies. That's the winner's trophy. Of course, winning the race as well as the championship. What a day for Vittorio Gorelli. There's a bigger trophy to come for the driver of the 24, though. The overall title. Paul Dufresne doing enough, climbing back through the order to win the junior trophy. David Kajaya in the final weekend, wrapping up the Challenger Trophy from behind. But the overall champion for the 2nd year running It's the golden combination of Gorelli and PK Carsport. Can anyone beat them in 2026? What a 2025 season in the NASCAR Euro Series. We'll see you again in 2026.